Welcome to Wake Up West Palm, real conversations with the people behind the storefronts, stages, and services you love. From first pours to final curtain, we explore how local businesses and partners move our community forward. Join us once a month, every second Wednesday. Watch live on Facebook and YouTube. Follow Downtown West Palm Beach to meet the faces, find new favorites, and make the most of your downtown. Welcome to Wake Up West Palm, where we talk all things downtown West Palm Beach, and you get to meet some of the incredible people and businesses in our beautiful community. Today, I am joined by Michael Zeff, President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of the Palm Beaches. Michael, thank you so much for having us in your office.
Good morning. Thank you for being here at the Chamber offices in beautiful downtown West Palm Beach.
Downtown West Palm Beach. This is so exciting. What are the benefits? What do you love about being right here in the heart of downtown?
I don't know if you've heard, but there is a major renaissance happening in West Palm Beach, and it is literally the center of the universe right now. So what is not to love about being here? Everything is happening here.
It's so cool. And before we get into all things Chamber, why don't we talk a little bit about you and share a little about your background and how you became the president? How did you end up here?
You know what, Kate? I ask myself that every single day. I have no idea. No, but in all seriousness, I've been in this role now for about a year, and the last guy was here for 38 years. So thankfully, it's not a job that turns over very often. But I was a small business owner for many years for a business that I ran and sold and still goes on today. I worked for a major Fortune 500 company doing sales and marketing for many years. And then right before I came here to the Chamber, I was doing economic development for Palm Beach County in tourism. So I had sort of all the little pieces of what I think makes a really good Chamber CEO throughout my career. Had worked in those. And the cool thing about this is I get to put all those things, small business, economic development, advocacy, connecting people, all the things that I really love to do, they all come together into one place.
That's so cool because you don't have a Chamber background, but all of that stuff that you've done, now you're able to really leverage that skill set, which I think is very unique in the Chamber world because we need someone who is entrepreneurial, who really understands the business owners. So for those people that might not be familiar, how do you describe what a Chamber of Commerce is and how it's financially supported?
So we describe it as PACE, right? And that's how we set the pace for business in Palm Beach County. It's prosperity, advocacy, connection, and education, right? So I'll start with connection because that's my favorite one. We help to bring people together, right? We create connections among our members and the business community that help people to better themselves, grow their career, grow their businesses. Education is another thing that we do here. We have a ton of workshops and seminars and classes that are happening here at the Chamber. You know, between workshops and classes and events and networking, the month of September alone this year, we have 19 events and activations happening here at the Chamber and around our community. So we are a very busy Chamber. The third thing that we do is advocacy. We help to support businesses and the business community with advocacy, right? And that happens here at the local level in West Palm Beach, at the county level, Palm Beach County, and at the state level and beyond. So when a business is a part of the Chamber, you know, we have over 1,000 members. We are the biggest, oldest Chamber in Palm Beach County. This Chamber has been here since 1913. So just to give you a little bit of perspective on that, Palm Beach County was founded in 1909. And 4 years later, this Chamber was founded. So we have been here and seen all of this growth happen from the beginning. When you're a part of a Chamber, we have well over 1,000 members here at the Chamber. You're not walking through things and situations in your business alone, right? You get the benefit of walking with 1,000 other business owners, and we're able to connect you and help create opportunities and a support structure that really helps our businesses. And we do that with them on a peer-to-peer level, and we also do it from an advocacy perspective with the cities, county, and the state.
It's cool that you're providing a lot of benefits to the Chamber as far as allowing them to come together, provide those the programs that they really need that's really going to support and enhance their business? Like, how are you using them and their voices? Obviously, it's a Chamber of Commerce. It's a very special place because of community, and you don't do this alone. So how do you have those how do you build those relationships with your members to make sure that you're really providing them what they need?
With any good business, it starts by listening. So the very first thing I did when I got here for the first several months was do a lot more listening than I did talking. And I talked to members in every corner of the county. And that's really what's a cool thing about our chamber too, is that we have members from Boca Raton to Jupiter, all the way out west to Belle Glade. But we're here in the capital city of Palm Beach County and the heart of Palm Beach County. But we draw members in from everywhere. And we really started off by listening to what it is that they needed from us. And we have experts in pretty much every field, right? So we have, David Gobio, who's a partner with Fort Harrison Law Group. He specializes in employment law. And he comes in once a quarter and teaches an employment law class here at the chamber. And that's something that for many people would be a very expensive lesson. And when, you typically don't want to have to go and talk to an attorney about those kind of things. But he comes here and helps to teach those things and prevent potential issues. And that's just one example. We have classes across the board in all different topics.
So when you first got here, you led a complete rebrand of the chamber, which is a big project. So why was that important? What was your thought process, and how did you roll that out?
We moved very quickly on that. And I mentioned the chamber's been around for 112 years. And there was a desire among our board and our executive committee for a new energy and a new feel for the chamber, right? So that started with them creating a strategic plan early on before I got here. And they charged me with helping to lead that strategic plan. And I was fortunate enough to be able to then take what they wrote on paper and bring it to life. And as we started to create this new energy and momentum at the chamber, it was important that the way we looked on the outside matched the way we felt and acted on the inside of the chamber. So we engaged with Pathos, which is right here downtown in West Palm Beach. They've been around for 30 years, and they're a full stack marketing agency. And we brought them on board to help look at our brand. Of course, again, started with listening, right? We talked to legislators, to elected officials, to our members, everybody at every level of this organization who interacts with us. And we got feedback about what they saw and felt about the chamber, right? And it was more youthful and energetic, and people were excited and engaged. So we created a brand that not only honored the legacy of the chamber, but brought that new energy to life too. And we're pretty proud of it.
Aw, and it sounds like the members are very excited and I even said to you this morning when I walked in, I said, there's a really good energy in here. There's a good energy in this space. You, in an article you had written, we believe in collaboration, but we are not going to wait to lead. What does that mean to you? Why is that important when leading this chamber?
That's a great question. And we listen, right? I think we've demonstrated that over and over this last year. We listen to our members and we collaborate. But when the business community needs bold leadership, we're not afraid to do that either.
Oh, I love that. I love that we need more bold leaders in this world. And you get to serve with a bold leader. So why don't you introduce our guest?
Oh, I would love to. So we have a very special guest joining us right now. It is the chairman of our board, who is a very good friend of mine too, and a great leader himself here in Palm Beach County, Michael Davis, who is the vice president of WGI.
Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
We are so excited to have you. Do you need to be named Michael in order to be a chair? Is this like
Z and D?
It's Michael squared. That's what we do.
I love it. All right. So you have a very interesting career. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's your journey and what led you to become the chair of this beautiful chamber?
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be the chair of this great chamber, but it has been an interesting journey that I'm very grateful for. I was raised in Nashville, Tennessee, and went off to college, became a biologist and an environmental scientist, working for the federal government. And my first 9 years, I was a federal enforcement agent with the Army Corps of Engineers. I ended up going to Washington, D.C. for 6 months. It turned out to be 15 years, and ultimately became the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army over the Corps of Engineers for Bill Clinton. I had the honor of working for President Clinton for both terms in Washington and 3 years in the White House and 5 in the Pentagon. And so in 2000, after the election, when President Bush was elected and parties changed, I left the government, left Washington, D.C., decided to move to Florida. And the reason I came to Florida was I was one of the senior leaders writing the Everglades Restoration Plan for the Clinton administration. So I knew a lot of people down here. And so I moved to Florida. And you know what? It's been 23 years. I've lived in West Palm Beach longer than any other place I've ever lived in my life. And it's amazing. So a few years ago, WGI, my firm, has been a member of the chamber for a long time, and I was asked to join the board. And for some reasons, I kept getting elevated on the board and asked to join the executive committee. And the first thing I knew was they're saying, you're the next chair. And so that's where we are here. But, you know, the timing is perfect because I got to work with bringing Michael in to the chamber here, best hire that we've ever made. And then I got to spend his first year here as the CEO to elevate this chamber and do the things that we've been able to accomplish in a relatively short period of time.
Oh, that's so cool. So you've been all over, you've worked in you've worked in the private sector and the public sector. What do you love about West Palm Beach and doing business here?
It's, you know, I love the evolution and what's happened to the city. It's really changed a lot. Anybody who's been here more than a decade or so have seen the changes. And in my judgment, as a planner of cities, it's a very positive change. We're doing the right thing. The city leadership has done the right thing. It's an amazing, beautiful place. It's diverse. We have the diversity that I think is important to a community, not only in the things we do, the businesses we have, but the way we look in this community is really important. And of course, we have sunshine and beaches. It's a pretty good place to be.
So tell us a little bit about the chair role. What does that entail? And how do you guys work together to make sure that you're leading the chamber in a positive way?
Well, you know, it's a great synergy between the CEO and the chair, and it has to be because the board fundamentally is kind of the policy arm of the organization, and the chairman leads that group, particularly through the executive committee. So our job is to help the CEO facilitate, you know, policy changes or the direction. In particular, that's really reflected in our strategic plan. You know, Michael mentioned that we did a strategic plan for this chamber, probably the first one ever in that 100 and plus years of existence. So we have that roadmap. And so that vision, I think, is fundamentally the chair and the executive committee's role, and then to work with the CEO to implement that.
How do you select board members? What does that look like? I know somebody might be watching right now saying, I want to be a member. And what does it take to be on the board?
Well, we hope they are watching, and we hope they do want to be on the board because we have a nomination committee, then it's vetted through the executive committee with the CEO's help, and then back to the full board to vote on these members. So we actually are recruiting board members. We want to bring people in who are energetic and really want to roll up their sleeves and be part of this really exciting journey that Michael's created for this chamber.
What are some of your main priorities and initiatives that you have, that the board has? What are you working towards that you're really excited about?
We will certainly finishing our strategic plan because that really sets the course for the next 3 to 5 years and the priorities that we want. Engaging our membership in a meaningful way, engaging our board in a really meaningful way have been priorities. But, you know, looking at our membership and you know, Michael and the team have been extraordinarily successful in bringing in new members every day into this organization. So, but making sure that, because we have a real diverse group of membership from very, very small businesses to the largest businesses in Palm Beach County, like Florida Power and like Florida Crystals, GL Homes, and so on. So it's a full spectrum, but engaging all of those businesses and making sure there's something here for them that will help them grow their business and be successful.
You know, kiddos, Michael's really touching on something very important.
Yeah.
And this is something that I'm very passionate about too. We always, from the beginning, and we agreed on this from the interview to my first day here, that this really needs to be and continue to be everybody's chamber, right? Some people traditionally think, well, that's only for a specific group. That I don't necessarily belong there. If you're a business owner and a business leader in Palm Beach County, West Palm Beach, this is your chamber. You belong in this chamber, right? We're here to help support you. That's what we do. And we really want to make sure that the entire community not only knows that, but feels it authentically when they walk in the door.
So let's say there's a business owner, they just come into West Palm downtown, and what are the top 3 things how should they engage with you in the first couple months of them being here to really kickstart their business and start that relationship with you?
Yeah, I think so. Being a part of a chamber is kind of like a gym membership, right? Some people say, I want to grow my business, so I'm going to go join the chamber. And then they join the chamber and think, all right, check, I got that. It's like you join the gym and you go, check, now I lost weight. But that's not really necessarily how it works, right? You have to engage with it too. So I would suggest to people to first show up, start to come to things, right? I mentioned we have 19 events happening this month in September, but if you don't take advantage of them and show up and get value out of them, then you're missing the opportunity. So I would say come get involved, show up, take advantage of the classes, the networking opportunities. Once a month, we do breakfast at the Kravis Center. Well over 500 people show up. They really are the intersection of business, civic, government, community leaders, all in one place. So much valuable conversation happens before the valuable conversation on the stage, right? So it really is a great meeting place and a place to grow your business. We create the opportunities. You got to come and take advantage of them.
Large companies, they have teams of people in HR, for example. They have teams in their general counsel's office. Small businesses don't have the availability of those things. So we provide some of that. We'll have some of our attorneys come in and do lectures on HR things. In October, in this room, we're doing a strategic planning session I'm going to lead for our small businesses. They can't hire consultants to do this. They can't afford it. So we're going to talk to them about how to do a strategic plan in their small business and why it's important to do this. So the benefits are there, and the networking is a key part of it, but there's really substantive training and educational benefits of being a chamber member.
You talked a little bit about bold leadership. You have so much experience in leadership, both of you do. What are the top 3 qualities of a really phenomenal leader?
I can only speak to what I've used and what I apply, and not always get it perfect, but try. It really starts with my philosophy of the 2 things I have complete control of is my attitude and my effort. And then I can reflect that or project that out to my team that, I'm going to have a good attitude. It's going to be positive and optimistic about what we're doing. And my effort will match your effort every day. Then it's really, if you get granular, it gets into, what are your core values and how do you lead through your core values? Mine are passion for people, taking care of your team, putting them first, be the change you see, creating opportunities and allowing people to grow. And then finally, commit to greatness. And that really gets to accountability. You tee them up, you train them, you mentor them, you coach them, but you hold them accountable and you don't accept average. So that's my leadership style.
If there is one opportunity downtown that you are most excited about for businesses, what is that?
Vanderbilt campus.
Say more.
Well, I think it's good as someone who's involved in running a national architect engineering planning business that's based out of West Palm Beach. How we recruit and retain good talent is an essential part. And it's hard. We're not producing enough engineers. We're not producing enough scientists in our colleges now. Vanderbilt, I think, will, with the program they're proposing to put here, will focus on some of the business sides of engineering, business sides of financial growth, and so on. And I think that's going to be a really good for our local businesses like WGI to be able to recruit those really smart people. We want really smart people in our companies.
Absolutely.
I'm going to add to that too. And I am so excited about the growth and change that's coming to West Palm Beach. But I'll tell you one of the things, and we talk a lot about all the businesses that are moving here, and that's very important. But we also have to remember all of the incredible homegrown businesses that we have here in Palm Beach County. Especially, you look at Clematis and Pioneer Linens and Roxy's and these places that have been here for so many years.
WGI, 50 years.
WGI, that are benefiting from all of the growth and development that's happening here too. And so it's exciting. I think it's so exciting and so important for all the businesses that are coming here. But I'm equally as excited for the businesses that are here and benefiting from all the growth and development.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time to live here, work here, just be able to be part of this incredible community. Before we go, we do have to mention, because you have an incredible background and career, but you also, on your downtime, you're a race car driver. How did you get into that?
It started when I was 8 years old. My dad and I in Nashville would go to NASCAR races virtually every Saturday night in the summer. And then we would travel around to Daytona, Talladega, and other NASCAR tracks. So I always wanted to be a race car driver. And so about 25 years ago, I still wanted to be a race car driver. I was, down here and I'm about to move down here. And so I said, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do this. So I bought a car, a Porsche, and converted it to a race car. I went to racing school and got my competition race car license. But, it's really that my whole race car driving thing is in a crucible of passion. And that's what I encourage people, young people, anybody, to have something they're really passionate about that transcends their work or their day job, because I think it makes you a better person and more interesting person. So that's my passion.
You can tell you're all smiles when you talk about it.
That's my happy place.
Yes, you can tell. And you can tell how excited you are to be here and to lead this incredible chamber. We are lucky to have you in this leadership role. Thank you for everything that you're doing. I am so looking forward to just seeing the continued growth, the strategic plan. It's very exciting to see that we're building a strategic plan so we can all be excited for what's ahead and what you are planning for. So I'm very excited to be part of the chamber and to grow with all of you. And thank you for what you do as a chair. And thank you so much again for having us here. It was so great to see you both. And if there's one thing you want to say to anyone that's questioning, maybe if you haven't been convinced to join yet, what is one thing that we can leave with?
It's one of the best investments you will make as a business, and whether you're large or small, because it will help you. There's no downside to being a member. We have all these menus of options you can join at different levels. So if you want to come in small. You'll get hooked.
And I'll add to that. You're welcome here. This is your chamber.
Beautiful. I love it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
This show is brought to you by West Palm Beach Downtown Development Authority.